Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video, and today we're here to talk about 11.2 World of Warcraft, the most recent patch in preparation for Midnight, the latest raid tier in the War Within, and I just want to tell you a little bit about how personally I've been enjoying this patch and some things I've been doing to pass the time and just enjoy the game in general outside of the meta things you do in every patch or expansion. So let's start off by the part which coincidentally I thought was the weakest and the one I got the least footage for, which was the campaign. In Tazavash, Karash isn't really an interesting zone. I thought the Oasis was going to be better, but the quests are quite repetitive in even the dailies. You are just taking pictures of animals and stuff, and the campaign itself was the weakest part of this patch and wasn't so interesting if you ask me. So getting straight to the point into what I have been trying to do in World of Warcraft, and the main thing is actually trying to be better and get back into the game. So I took a huge hiatus from 9.3, which was the end of Shadowlands up until now, and now I'm just getting back into the niche of things and experimenting with all these new systems which are new to me, maybe not to you, but are new to me, such as the crests, the Valor Stones, the crafting systems and everything that involves it, and I've been experimenting with it all to just learn the ropes, and I think I'm getting pretty familiarized with everything now at this point, and I'm just trying to get better at my class and try to enjoy the game more in terms of a performance type of gameplay. Which leads me into my next segment, which is raiding. Raiding is what I've been doing the most this patch. I'm not really a big fan of Mythic Plus, so this is how I decided I was going to gear my character, and I have already cleared Manaforge Omega 3 times in normal difficulty. I am working on the heroic difficulty, but as you know, bugging can be hard and finding a decent enough group to clear every boss has been a challenge. I've just been hopping from group to group. Gladly, there are enough groups for every boss to where you can basically clear anything at any time of the day, but I like to do it at my own pace and taking breaks here and there, so that's how I've been tackling it. Gladly, I've been quite lucky in terms of loot. I am sitting at item level 701, and I can easily do normal or heroic, but outside of just trying to clear heroic for the purpose of clearing and getting better gear, my main goal is just, as I said, or as I mentioned, to get better at my class, and that's the reason why I'm re-clearing normal to try and get a better parse and better understand my rotation and all these bosses to their extent. To that end, I've been trying to track my logs for the first time, like genuinely, and if you want to check that out for yourself, I will leave them down in the description. And this is not to say that I have excellent or even good logs by any means. Quite the contrary, I'm still learning, and I've just been using this to track and try and get better wherever I can. Moving on from that, I've been doing other things other than just the current patch, which are leveling. I am leveling like 2 or 3 characters just to get them ready in case I ever want to change for Midnight. And the first one I decided to start leveling was a Demon Hunter because I thought that the new spec was very interesting, and maybe having a Demon Hunter at max level would be fun if I ever wanted to tackle that new spec when Midnight eventually comes around. And the other character I decided to create was an Evoker. As someone who skipped Dragonflight, I think Evoker has a very interesting starting zone. It quite reminds me of Goblins in Cataclysm, and I think it's very interesting to see that Blizzard are having a return to form with these starting zones. I think they deviated a little bit too much from it with the allied races, which had pretty much shortened beginnings and class introductions, or not class but race introductions, unlike what we had back in the day where you were very familiar with starting zones for different classes, such as the Goblins and the Worgens, which had iconic beginnings, and I think the Evoker emulates a bit of that. On the offside, I've also been playing a little bit of my Balanced Druid. This has been pretty fun as some side things to do. I have unlocked some gear on it. I think I'm around item level 691 on it, and I've done a bit of the raid, like 6 out of 8 in normal, but it's a very fun class. But at the end of the day, I want to focus mainly on my warrior when it comes to getting better, so that's just a side thing I have to do once I am like crest capped and everything around that. And last but not least, we have collectionism. Just getting back into collecting and tracking my data for Azeroth, getting some mounts in the current patch, and going back and getting things that I didn't get when I was playing back in Shadowlands and BFA. I've been trying to get some mounts, sure, like from BFA, the Jaina mount or the N'Zoth mount, but this time around when it comes to collectionism, I'm also trying to get some more transmog, because I've been investing in that. It's pretty fun. That side of the game is pretty fun, and that's always been a little bit alienated for me. I've always tried to use like full tier sets, but this time around I'm trying to get more interesting appearances that maybe I could use that I haven't used or even saw yet in the game, because this is a huge game with tons and tons of appearances. And just yesterday I was just clearing some Next Ramas 25, trying to get some transmog to make a Wrath of the Lich King inspired warrior transmog, and that has been pretty fun. I am now farming the Scarlet Crusade tabard in Scarlet Halls, and it hasn't dropped yet, but that's what I've been doing in my free time, like at the end of the day, when I have some free time to just turn my brain off and do some mindless grinds inside of the game. And so this was what I wanted to get at today, just tell you a little bit of what I am personally doing in 11.2, and I'm having fun. This is a very fun patch. If you have been away from WoW for a couple of months, even years, I would recommend this time to come back to it. It's very enjoyable, and it's still early in the season to where you won't feel very behind from other people. But yeah, another WoW video. I just wanted to make a video for you since it had been 4 days since the last one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless, and there's more content to come with a little bit of other games that I've also been playing, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, this has been the Retro Den, and I'm out.